Happy Thursday, happy Thursday, happy Thursday. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Aaron B. So, we're doing a solo dolo episode today. My guy Shane is at the work to make sure ours at the radio station. Congrats to him. He's over here producing, doing this thing. But the show must go on. The show must go on. It is Cowboys versus 49ers week. Heck, and if you're a Texas Longhorn fan like me, it's OU versus Texas as well. So, plenty of great football this weekend. But before we get into the show, we gotta show love. You know we always gotta show love to our sponsor. And that is What a Clean Solutions. And you need to get your carpets clean, couches, tile, and grout moving in or moving out. And you need to get your place to look brand new. Call What a Clean Solutions, a family-owned mobile cleaning service that can clean anything from a small carpet to even making your car or truck look brand new, like off the lot. You know what I'm saying? Give them a call or text at 210-790-1410 using promo code TNT for 5% off your total cleaning. And that promo code is TNT at 210-790-1410 for 5% off. And if you didn't get that, it's on the bottom of the screen. So definitely go check out What a Clean Solution if you're in the San Antonio area, and they'll do a great job. They do fantastic work. It's a family-owned business. We got to show love to the small business out there, and that's a big fact. So before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show, we got to talk about. Let me get that. You know, you got to do a little bit of producing as well. I got to produce on this show a little bit, so. I bet it's crazy at the rail station for him, but hey, he's doing great work there. But we just recently signed linebacker Mikel Jones out of Syracuse, who was a UDFA player, was playing for the LA Chargers. He's around 5'11", about 230, 225 range. So a smaller, shifty type of guy. He from what I've seen on tape, I actually looked at him when draft season was going on. I was like, okay. He can drop out in the coverage. He's that type of guy. I got some notes. Good instinct as well. He's an explosive player. Has special team experience. I've seen some tapes where he would grab the ball. He took it it was like on a punt return. He got like a touchdown. I'm like, okay. He shows him explosive. He's a sub 4'6" guy, so he got some speed. Not the biggest guy, but I think where we see on this team, he'll be that special teamer on this team because you got LVE, you got Damone Clark, you got Marquise Bell that plays some linebacker as well. Juan Thomas a little bit as well. So you got some cats on this team that can play that. But I think after we released Devin Harper, who we thought we were going to pick up in the practice squad, ended up being claimed off waivers to the Cincinnati Bengals. We had to look for another linebacker. Mikel Jones could be a possibility of getting into that special team role, maybe possibly being some more on this team. But you never know. But shout out to everybody that's pulling up and everything. Bear with me. It was last things happened, but it's all good, bro. It is all good. So we're gonna get into the next thing. Randy Gregory reunion. If you haven't known, Randy Gregory recently got released by the Denver Broncos, he was signed by them last year. It's crazy how time just goes back so fast. This guy was literally signed to a 5-year contract for $70 million. But what the report is saying, they're going on the youth movement. Some people are saying, oh, they're just trying to tank some. Might well just get some of the older guys out. He's really not old. He's 30. But they got guys like Nick Benito, Baron Browning, Jonathan Cooper, and some other guys on this team. And so he kind of fell out of rotation. Had dealt with injuries last year and everything, and really hasn't touched the surface this year. So I understand they're going with that route. But do I think Randy Gregory should come back to the Cowboys? If we were looking at a couple years ago, we were kind of like, hey, we looking for edge rushers. I would say yes. But in this situation, edge rushers at this point are not a dire need for this team. We actually got plethora, and it's like we're trying to fit every one of them in. We got D-Law, we got DA, we got Sam Williams, and then you got the chess piece Michael Parsons and Dante Fowler, and guys like Junior Fielko and guys like that can't even go. They got to be on the practice squad and be our inactive. So it'd be hard for even Randy Gregory to even break the surface on this depth. Not saying that he's not a good player because he is, but we got really good young players, and then we got a blend of some vets, a couple of vets in there as well. You don't want to take time from them and their development as well. So at this point, knock on wood, we don't have any injuries. I don't think it's gonna be a situation where we get Randy Gregory. There's gonna be some teams that are gonna be looking for a Randy Gregory on a team. And you never know. He may get claimed off next tomorrow or next week. But I just don't think he's gonna be a Dallas Cowboy. I know when you see a former Dallas Cowboy, you're like, hey, we need to bring him back. But then you gotta look at the factor, why is this team releasing him? And the reason why he dealt with injuries, and then you got younger guys that are stepping up. And you don't want to stop these younger cats from being they could be that next guy because they got more years ahead of them than the guys that are kind of like, in that 30-ish and or mid 30s. Like I'm a 30-year-old guy, So there's no knock on 30-year-olds for sure on this show. Absolutely. So that is oh no, I almost forgot. I gotta show love to my guy, Hunter Luepke, who got that fullback dive and the touch. I know there's a lot to go in this game, but I had to put into perspective because I wanted to get same perspective on this. But do y'all think Hunter Luepke could be our Zeke? Not saying he's a B Zeke, but he think he could be that role where he could be that goal line back, that short yardage back. Because I think he can. He brings receiving game to him. He was a single back running back at North Dakota State, who basically played H back, fullback, a little bit of tight end. So H back is kind of that blend of in a fullback and a tight end type of role. And I think we could utilize a guy like a Hunter Luepke as that short yardage guy. He's not going to get. We're not looking at him to get 20, 25 carries. No, that's a Tony Pollard type of role. I think he could be that 6 to 8. It's third and short, or we need to get a red zone touchdown. Like he was the one that I think it was 1 out of 4 touchdown red zone touchdowns. The rest were we did went to Lamb. There's a couple. Man, that made me think about it, but I think he could be our goal line back. You just got to put him in creative situations. You can't just run the fullback dive every time and hope it works and we're going to get a touchdown because smart teams and smart defenses like who we're playing this week, you can't just do the same thing and hope for the. It's a definition of insanity. You can't keep repeating the same thing over and over again. Hopefully it works out because it's not. I think they can use him in creative ways. Like I said, he has good hands. He can run a little. He's not the fastest, but he got some power to him. He can let his shoulder down, or a little shiftiness, a little shift, get in there. So I think he could be that type of guy. You just got to put him in creative situations. I think this offensive staff will figure it out. And I don't think they haven't showed they haven't showed all their cards. They're keeping a couple cards in the pocket for a little bit, for special occasions. But you kind of want to see it because the red zone offense has been looking a little suspicious. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It's just you just want to see something you want to see a little bit more because you're playing against tougher teams now. You're playing against you got the 49ers now, you got the Chargers, and you got your rivals in there too. So you got to step up again. There's a few other teams it's not a walk in the park at this time. It's just we're gonna show these teams who bosses. Let me see. We got a comment. Oh my God, Sports PSP, shout out to him. He said the Commanders are making me want to puke. Ooh, it's that bad, and they're against the Browns. You got the score? I can check that out. I gotta see this. Oh, 17-3. Ooh. I can get what you're saying right there. Ooh. I still got the Commanders. I think they can win. Hopefully, y'all can beat the Bears because man, you can honestly tell the Bears are trying to tank. It's just they're gonna be that one team or two teams that may slip and let the Bears get a win. But hopefully it's not our buddies up in Washington that let them do that because I hate to see y'all do that because believe me, when the Cardinals got on us, Twitter was all on the Cowboys. Like every time we lose a game, we could lose by 3. Y'all still them boys? Yes, we still them boys. We're still them boys over here. This flag will be here then the week after a big loss, but that's neither here or there. But the next thing, so now we're getting to the meat and potatoes of the show, and that is keys to victories and key matchups. But we'll get into the key matchups. I think the key matchups I'm looking for are, I'm always I'm a trenches type of guy. So before we get into that, DJ Moore is making the DJ Moore is making the Washington defense look like ooh. DJ Moore is a nice wide receiver. He's been solid, but I got some good secondary play. I wonder why. I definitely have to watch that game at the end of the show. But keys matchups I got D-Law versus Connor. I'm gonna butcher his name. The right tackle for the 49ers. I looked and he's kind of more the weaker. He's the weakest link on this offensive line. He has allowed one penalty and 4 sacks allowed, and He's playing against a veteran, our older guy, our basically one of the generals on this defense, D-Law, who has. Let me get these stats real quick for him. D-Law has 2 sacks with 3 quarterback pressures, and he's a force when it comes to the run defense. And I think he's definitely going to be setting the tone when it comes to that. And I think at this point, I know last year we had a Michael Parsons moving on the left against Trent Williams. I think you got to move Michael Parsons to the inside, right side. I think the right side, right next to D Law would be perfect. Just applying that pressure on that right side and just generating some pressure on Purdy. I think that will be my key matchup to that. But the keys to victory, let's do. I want to do offense. We got to get the ball efficiently and less turnovers. We got to make smart moves. This basically our offense has been generated like this because due to the facts of the 2 losses in the playoffs to the 49ers. We were having the ball too long in our hands when we played against them. Now you're playing in a West Coast offense, trying to get that ball quickly and efficiently out there. And I think we have the personnel when it comes to this team to handle business. And I think when it comes to our running backs that can play receivers, have good receiving hands, like Tony Pollard, and you got Hunter Luepke, and I think you can get even Deuce Vaughn involved in that type of situation. Get them out in the flats, but not making it obvious. You gotta, do some pre-snap motion. They do the same thing, but they're really. That's one thing about the 49ers. Their pre-snap motions are crazy, and you gotta. We almost got into defense, but I think getting Tony Pollard involved in the receiving game and out in space as well in the running game, I think that's one of the keys to victory on offense. And we got to target Lenore, the other corner opposite of Davius Ward. He has been targeted 30 times. He has allowed 23 receptions for 203 yards. He's most likely going to be covering your guys like a Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup type of guys. I think this could be the game where you see Brandon Cooks actually show why we have him, because he's that route runner that has some deep threat ability, because we were lacking that last year. And I think Brandon Cooks, he's been more the decoy these last he missed the Cardinals game, but the other game more decoys. So allow guys like a CD Lamb or Gallup and other guys get open. But I think this is a game where you can see Brandon Cooks show that type of receiver you seen with the Patriots, when you seen with the Rams and with the Texans. I think Brandon Cooks still got it, and I think this was the game where you see him, and you'll see a guy like a Michael Gallup who did some work in the Patriots game. I think those opportunities where you see guys like those who got that ability to get separation, I think they could take advantage of a corner like that. Not saying he's hard, but I think it's that similar situation what a lot of teams were doing when we were in Anthony Brown as our cornerback to opposite of Trayvon Diggs. They targeted him a lot. There'll be some stops, but you got to be smart with it though, because you don't if you do a little too much on Lenore's side, he may end up like getting a little smart. Like, let me get in this situation, I'm gonna pick it off, and you don't want that to happen because you want to minimize penalties and you want to minimize mistakes like that. But my next thing is, let me see. You got to get the tight ends involved, man. They play cover 3 and their zone defense, so I would say get the tight ends involved and up the seams as well. Just like you got to have Ferguson and you got to have a Shoemaker involved in the receiving game. Ferguson is slowly getting back to that level. We're like, okay, he's the tight end one. Shoemaker's showing some work. We just haven't really got anything from Hendershot. He's been hurt and this inconsistency. And Sean McKeon is a hustler. That's what I would say. He's a hustler type of player. He's going to be a good blocker. Definitely want to have him when we're running the ball, blocking and everything. And Dak's just got to display a solid game. We're not asking him to get 300 yards. If he can get a game with 100-some yards and we running the ball efficiently and we keep the penalties and the turnovers to almost zero, we should be able to, we'll do great on offense. It's just you got to be efficient, and we got to get that goal line offense together. We're playing against the 23rd red zone defense, so there's an opportunity where this red zone offense could show a little bit of some of the cards they've been hiding in the pocket this time around. And I think this is the opportunity to play against one of our toughest competition this year. And this is definitely going to be game week. It's going to be a close game. But we got to now we're getting into the defense. What does the defense do? I kind of already told y'all. I think we need I know we need to get Michael Parsons moving around. We got to get him the outside. We got to get him the inside, and especially on that right side, right next to D-Law or whoever's going to be on there. Because we're a rotational type of defense. We're not going to have players just playing over a bunch of snaps. No. You got a situation like that. And I think a guy that we need to put in as another chess piece is Wanye Thomas, who showed some work in the run defense for week 4. I think this is the perfect opportunity to get him involved. And I think that him involved, and then you got Donovan Wilson, who's another enforcer when it comes to the run defense. And they just – because you were playing against guys like a CMC, Christian McCaffrey, who can be effective and elusive in the receiving game and the running game. You need one of those guys that kind of like, I'm tracking this. When you see them right there, they can wrap up, secure the tackle. And that's one of my main things. This team's got to wrap up and secure the tackles. We can't be worrying about trying to rip the ball out and not secure the tackle. Because if you're not securing the tackle, these guys will break loose and go for a touchdown or big yardage. And you don't want that. You want to minimize on that. You got to wrap up, secure the tackle, and then go to the next play. And there's going to be some times where they're not going to get the interception. We're one of the best turnover defenses out there. But if you can get the deflection or the stop or pressure or something like that where they make a bad throw and they got to throw it out of bounds or just miss the receiver, the defense is still doing their job, doing the little things. I think that's one of the main things, just doing the little things effective. J-Ron's definitely got to get involved covering George Kittle, because George Kittle had a big game. I think he had almost 100 yards against us in the playoffs. You got to contain. When I use that, I'm saying contain. Like contain these players to a minimum where they're not playing up to their top peak. Or you cut that in half and they're less effective this week. They could be the top echelon against the next team, but against us, we got to contain them. Like that's one of the biggest things. And I must not forget, I think he's one of the most underrated skill player on their offense, and that's Brandon Ayuk, who is more of the route running, the more complete, the more the receiver. No offense to Deebo Samuel, who's more that wide back, who can play a little, who can tote the ball, run the ball, and be a receiver and get involved in the jet sweeps. And a guy like that, I'd get more of a savvy veteran with Stephon Gilmore on a guy like him. And then have I'm gonna get a little sip of water. I've been going nonstop shot. Sorry that was a loud go, probably. My bad, y'all. But I would have a DaRon Bland on a Brandon Ayuk. I think DaRon Bland did a really good game last year. He had 2 interceptions, was doing his great job. And I think playing against Brian Luke is a true test to see what type of corner DaRon Bland is. He is a route runner, and when he catches, he has a great catch raise for, I think he's like 5'11" or 6 foot. I heard something. He's this is a perfect example. He's like he may be in that average or shorter range of receiver, but he has a catch rate. It's like a guy that's like 60 or 60. Catch it, reaches, jumps out, grabs it, totes it in. He's a yak guy. That's one thing about when it comes to Debo and Ayuk and overall their receivers, they're yak guys. You gotta contain these guys. We play man coverage, and that's one thing about Brock Purdy. He is really good in man coverage. You hope to see a little zone, but I don't think they're gonna really convert from week no the week before and then we're gonna go complete zone. Yeah, hopefully get to see some zone involved like that. Because we do got personnel players that can get involved in that as well. But I think overall you gotta contain their best players and not sleep on players that they may not. Oh, who's he? No, you got to play them just like how you play a CMC. Like if it was Elijah Mitchell's out there, you got to play it just like he's a solid running back as well. They got depth on this team. It's like you got to stop. You got to contain them, make cause turnovers, but secure tackles, secure tackles, secure tackles. If y'all do, if I was y'all, if y'all just watch what we did in last year's game, and that's one of the biggest things on defense. We got to secure tackles. You can't just worry about trying to knock the ball out and you miss a tackle and they just shimmy out and you can't. That can't happen. But I'm trying to make sure that I didn't miss anything. But it's a little shorter show, but I appreciate people commenting and people coming by and stuff like that. But I know there's a game going on. I got to see what's going on against the Bears and the Commanders. This might be a really interesting game. Let me see what they're in the second quarter, man. I forget it started at 7. Ooh, 23. So we got a little interesting game there. We'll see what the Commanders do. But y'all have, before I let y'all go, I appreciate we've got to show love to our second sponsor. Shout out to our guys at SeatGeek. Life's event have tickets, concert, game shows, and more. Use promo code all capital letters tacos touchdowns to get $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek, a ticket for every fan. There's baseball playoffs going on, football, college football, pro football, NFL football is going on right now. So if you want to purchase a ticket, use the promo code, save you $20 off. You can use that for, parking is $20 or more. Or if you want to use that money for a hot dog or a hamburger, because $20 at a Dallas Cowboy game, that's basically a hamburger and fries. But I heard you can get a pretty damn good deal over at the Atlanta Falcons game for $20. You can get a whole meal or a combo meal. Like, hey, can we get those prices, Jerry? Like, we spending a pretty penny for them tickets, man. But yeah, use the $20 off and say we all want to save a little bit of money. Why don't you use that promo code when you're trying to go to these games, concerts as well? It's not just sporting events. You want to go to a concert, maybe you want to go to a Taylor Swift concert or something like that. Taylor Swift's been one of the bigger things going on in the NFL. Who would have thunk it? But y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy football. Enjoy time with your family and everything. But this is Aaron B. Y'all have a good one. Peace. Yes, sir.